Sweet. So welcome to the shortest, non-weekly, non-episodic, non-televised program on non-cable history. I am, of course, Stuart the King Johnston, and with me today are good old Sam Chan, who I think is...
No.
and Hall of Famer Martin Shaw.
Hello.
So yeah, a couple months ago, I did a stream basically looking at the career of the Ultimate Warrior, and it was suggested that I do one on Randy Savage. 2 months later, I thought, finally, here I am.
Here you are.
Yes. So yeah, thought I'd, while doing this, also supply a little bit of history of Randy Savage. He made his wrestling debut in 1973 during the winter off-season of his baseball team as the Spider-Man-inspired character, The Spider. He wrestled for such promotions as Georgia Championship Wrestling under Ole Anderson, his father's promotion at International Championship Wrestling, and when they folded, he went to Memphis where he feuded with Jerry Lawler. In 1985, he found his way into the WWF, where he became the hottest free agent in history, and was targeted by the top managers of the day, including Bobby Heenan, Freddie Blassie and Jimmy Hart, among others. But he decided to be managed by Miss Elizabeth instead, and the rest is history. At the beginning he feuded with the likes of Tito Santana, who he beat for the Intercontinental Championship in February of 1986, as well as George Steele and the living legend Bruno Sammartino. And that will be our opening contest for tonight.
Objection.
What?
Larry Zbyszko is obviously the living legend.
Ugh.
There is like 19 living legends.
Yeah.
But I think like Zbyszko, did he not battle somebody for the rights to the title of living legend?
I think he did, yes. But he's no Bruno.
No.
And this match is not going to take place on NXT. That'll do.
All the best matches take place on NXT though.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm pretty sure Bruno skipped NXT when he joined WWF.
But so did Sin Cara, and look how that worked out.
Yeah, good point.
I like that they have a load of different Savage outfits in this.
Yeah. Well, they got one for every of the WrestleManias he was in the game.
It's a shame they didn't do the same with Rude.
Aye, that would have been great.
Although it would have took forever to, like, hand paint the trousers in, like, Photoshop or whatever.
Aye. Especially for a DLC character.
Do you think at any point they'll change the crowd for the crowd for just bring it?
I hope so. Like I was sorry.
We were talking about the crowd, like how badly it looked in the Robot Wars stream, and it's like they used the exact same.
But yeah, it was when I was practicing the. I just like decided to play through the Steamboat Savage match earlier, and I noticed, and I was like, the how they don't like even change the arena for like the outdoor WrestleManias. That's like really, really disappointing. So yeah, we're playing Savage versus Sammartino.
With Sin Cara's entrance lighting.
Yeah.
Is it supposed to be a sepia tint?
I think so, yeah. This is a downloaded arena, but I downloaded it like months ago, so I don't know who it was by. So were you a Savage fan as a kid, Martin?
Savage was like amazing.
Yeah.
I used to have old VHS tapes, and it would be like the stuff he was doing with Jake the Snake.
Oh yeah.
And the like the way they and the pay-per-view and shit like that. Oh.
Maybe talking about that later.
On one of my mini I don't even know what you'd call them. We never come up with an actual title for them. But I used to do things on Pulse, and it was like a career retrospective.
Yeah.
So we did one for Savage. Nobody hates Savage.
No.
There's nobody out there that's like, fuck him. Except for Hulk Hogan, but even like that.
Well, now
Randy died, Hogan was the
yeah.
first person to be like, oh, we made up we're friends now, brother. And then Ultimate Warrior cut a 45-minute YouTube video where he's like, no, you didn't, Hulk. You're a liar.
Yeah, you have to take basically everything Hulk Hogan says with a grain of salt.
Well, if you look at it this way, right? Savage won because in the world of rap battles, whoever drops the better record wins, and Hogan never responded to be a man. So Savage automatically wins.
Yep. Oh my, Sammartino just kicked out of the elbow drop.
Boo.
Does he not know the script?
He's gone into business for himself.
He's shooting.
I would deliver commentary for this,
But you're delayed.
Well, no, I was gonna say, but the modern commentators don't actually call anything that happens in the match.
No.
Yeah, if we were to do this realistic, we would spend 15 minutes talking about what John Cena's been wearing.
So Martin, how do you download the WWE app?
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, if you go into your phones and then you can go to either the Android Marketplace or whatever the fuck the iTunes store's properly called.
This is the App Store.
And search for WWE. I don't know, the fucking 2 years that they've been pushing this WWE app, they have never thought of going, oh, we'll put a hyperlink up. We'll put a tiny URL up. And you can just go there. Or how about wwe.com/WWE app, and that would lead you to the respective marketplace for your platform. But no. I wrote a review for the WWE app as well. It was really weird because at that time it was in the early stages, so you'd go to the roster page, and it would be like AJ Lee, Abdullah the Butcher, Akeem, and you'd be like, hold on, something doesn't quite fit here. I'll see if I can find the actual thing I wrote, because there was one point I found quite interesting about the app.
One, two, three.
Oh, right. So I broke down into the sections of the app, and they had a Raw section.
Yep.
Would give you like backstage clips for Raw and what happened during the ad breaks and shit.
Yeah.
And so, as I wrote, one hidden gem is a backstage interview in which Josh Matthews tells Caitlyn that he's about to furiously masturbate to her latest Divas Focus photo spread.
I miss Caitlyn.
And then to follow that up, there's a bit for My Universe, which is all social interactions. So you'll see like the wrestlers' tweets and then people responding to it.
Yeah.
Some of them were like, "Oh, is Mark Henry gonna hurt himself? Did he just hurt Rey Mysterio?" And certain tweets would be selected and dropped into active, like the main section of the homepage of the app for everybody to see. And like all the tweets that came into the active part of the app were so like marky, if you want to call them that it looked like they'd been written by plants, like somebody in the marketing department. Excluding one gem from Caitlyn, which implied that Mark Henry is a rapist.
What?
And I cannot for the life of me remember what she said, but I know she said something.
Fair enough.
Oh.
So, on that note, so Savage feuded with Steel throughout 1986, but that was not his only feud that year. Late in the year, Savage attacked the Dragon, Ricky Steamboat, after a match, injuring him in the process. They would feud up until WrestleMania 3, where they battled for the Intercontinental Championship, who would become known as one of the greatest wrestling matches in WWE history. Would Steamboat come back triumphant, or will Savage's 40-month reign continue to drag on?
Let us also not forget one of Savage's most greatest battles. Ran for decades. It was, of course, the Macho Man Randy Savage versus male pattern baldness.
It's nothing a bandana can't fix.
It really wasn't, because he never took it off his heat in WCW.
Reigning Intercontinental Champion Randy Macho Man Savage took things too far in his title defense against Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Yeah, Macho Man Randy Savage, Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion, was in a state of shock.
Even if you watch clips,
Steamboat came back.
see him here, you can see it.
Yeah.
And it's not like it got any bigger. Just then, I think for All Stars, he did an advert right before he passed away.
Yeah.
And he had a long head of hair then as well.
2, 3 count, but I'm gonna put you out for good. The day has finally come.
He kind of looked like a really intense Santa Claus. It was awesome.
But there will only be one winner.
Macho Man and the Dragon would settle their differences in the ring at WrestleMania 3. But this was not
For those of you playing along with your bingo cards, you can scratch off, snap into a Slim Jim.
The biggest main event of all time. The heavyweight champion of the world, Hulk Hogan, and the challenger, Hulk's former...
Yeah, we don't need to see Andre and Hulk. No.
Nobody needs to see Andre and Hulk. Remind me, which dome did that happen in?
Oh god, I think I'm confused now. The Silver Dome?
Here he comes,
It is the Pontiac Silver Dome.
Ah,
reigning Intercontinental Champion, Macho Man, with Miss...
I didn't put the Hogan there, thank god.
Contest is for the Intercontinental Championship.
I like how Hogan didn't remember, but Rock and Austin did.
Making his way to the ring, accompanied
I love these tiny rings.
from Sarasota, Florida.
They really need to bring them back.
Yeah. Was it not, Here Comes the Pain, where every legend had them?
Macho Man Savage.
Like they had a show, I think, was it last year, and Paul Heyman was on like a thing.
Oh, yeah, I think, wasn't that not, like, it was a pay-per-view, it was him and Ryback versus CM Punk?
Aye.
Aye.
And that was really hilarious.
Was it not like someone who, like, was trying to drive it and failed miserably?
Aye, and he gets stuck.
Yeah.
It's the same thing like they had it with Barrett. I don't know if it was on Raw or another pay-per-view, but he got stuck there like halfway up. And like they just cut to him at every break until they could figure out how to take it down.
I seem to remember he made the most of it though.
Oh, aye. Oh, Wade's failed run with the gimmick.
I think he's done really well with it.
He used to be the guy that just like he'd get to the entrance ramp and somebody in gorilla position was like, no, you can't get with that cape, gives it back. But no, he gets to keep the cape and he gets to cut promos and stuff.
Yeah. I've always liked Wade, but I've never liked him more than right now.
Mm.
Do you watch the JBL and Cole show, by any chance?
I've saw a few episodes. I've not watched it since Brian sold the bear.
It's basically just become the Cody Rhodes, Wade Barrett comedy minute.
Oh, yes.
Like, Michael Cole hasn't even been on the show for about 20 episodes. And they've got Heath Slater playing John Bradshaw Layfield's nephew. But, like, he's a completely separate character. Heath Slater is actually really, really funny.
Right.
Yeah. Clem Layfield is his name. But it's stuff like that, and like Biggie's Instagram account. It's like, why can't they just let them be like that on screen?
Well, it's when they first started the 3-hour Raws, I was sitting and I was thinking, well, they've got these things on YouTube. It's Zack Ryder's show.
Yeah.
And the JBL and Co show and whatnot. And it's like, well, why not spend like 5 minutes of your 3 hours showing that as part of the show?
Yeah.
Because it's supposed to be a variety show, and these things are actually entertaining. Or you had one where it was Antonio Cesaro walking around like and he was like the evil foreigner heel at this time, so that was hilarious. But they never put it in Raw.
Trying to feel the Macho Man out to find out the Macho Man's weaknesses.
It is a bit bizarre, but yeah.
Macho Man has few, if any, weak. Macho Man Randy Savage is gifted with an almost surgical ability.
Like if you think of memorable video packages for back in the day, there is like Pillman with a gun, or Mick Foley when he lost his mind. Like when he forgot he was Cactus, I guess. And things like that. I knew you don't get any of that on TV because it's on the website, the YouTube channel. But I have noticed during the pay-per-views and things, they've started bringing back like the wee window at the side that gives a promo recorded backstage.
I do like them.
And they have got Renee Young doing some sort of like a Mean Gene interview type bits. But not that often.
Renee Young's a fantastic like commentator and interviewer, if you will.
Aye. She's really good. I think ESPN were trying to get her, or some other sports network. But she's a huge wrestling fan, so. But she does like the post show for fucking Total Divas on E as well.
Yeah.
She's doing like 90 jobs there.
Well, she does like most of like the Raws and stuff, and then she does NXT. She does lots of things on like the YouTube and
the network.
Yeah.
And if they've any live events, she's like doing the live coverage of that as well. Like she did was it the red carpet for the Hall of Fame?
Yes. Remember that. It basically is like a modern Mean Gene, but slightly better looking.
Aye.
Just slightly though.
No, she doesn't have the right facial hair, but aside from that.
I do feel like I'm betraying Randy Savage because I'm kind of forced to play as Ricky Steamboat.
Well, I mean, you could have done the match yourself, but you wouldn't have got the awesome moment.
Aye. Like if it's available on the Road to WrestleMania mode, you know what I mean. Then I'll use that version of the match just to get the moments and the commentary and all that.
Randy Macho Man sat and he kicks out. I'll give Savage credit where credit is due. A lesser man would have been put away a long time ago.
He's a great champion, JR. Well, they're both great. These are two
I was watching, there's a guy I go to college with,
Yep.
and I guess it was his uncle or his cousin put up a video of the two of them playing 2K14.
Alright.
And it was Santino versus John Cena. And so they got like a roll-up or a schoolboy, and they kept reversing it if there were 1 counts, and it went for like 2 minutes. And I was like, oh my god, this is like watching Ring of Honor.
I remember when I was a kid, I'd just got Attitude for Christmas, and I was trying to teach my auntie how to play, and for some reason she had picked Thrasher, and all she could do was go on the turnbuckle, back onto the apron, and that's the only thing she could do, and that was the entire match for like 5 minutes. It was match of the year every year.
No, match of the year all years is Melina versus Alicia Fox. And if you don't believe me, just look for Stone Cold's reaction.
I do remember that.
Randy Savage to beat him. And a big, could this be it? Going for the pin. Here's the cover. And there's the reversal. Textbook snapmare. Looks like he's and just like
I knew they've gave Alicia Fox a gimmick where she like wrecks the place after she wins or loses. She was on Raw like 3 weeks ago, I guess, and she lost her match or she won a match.
She lost to
whatever it was.
Paige.
But she stole Lawler's crown and then stood in the top of the audience and grabbed, I guess, what she thought was a cup of like water, but it was Coke. So she poured it in her head and was completely like covered in it. And so her face instantly changes to like, haha, to oh no.
But going back to the tough enough moment when Thingy said, oh, my favourite match was Alicia Fox versus Melina. Isn't that Cameron?
Aye?
She was the only one from Tough Enough who actually got an actual career in WWE.
Well, Silent Rage got they stuck him in Florida to train him.
Yeah.
And I guess he fell out with Hugh Morris. I can never remember Hugh Morris's real name, but he's Hugh Morris.
Bill DeMott.
He's no fucking. Yeah. He's no Bill DeMott. He's Hugh Morris. With these stupid trunks that look like the Riddler in Batman Forever.
His huge erection.
Oh, Christ.
Oh, what am I doing?
You're doing Hulkamania Runs Wild.
Yes. So, going back to my notes here. After the classic matchup with Steamboat, Macho Madness started to infect the fans, and despite still being a heel, Savage becoming more and more popular. This came to a head when he contested Honky Tonk Man's claim of being the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time, turning face for the first time since his arrival in the WWF. He had won the 1987 King of the Ring tournament and formed an alliance with Hulk Hogan, the Mega Powers. Hogan had controversially lost the title to Andre the Giant in February of 1988. Andre would then try to sell the title to Ted DiBiase, but WWF President Jack Tunney stripped him of the title. At WrestleMania 4 there was a tournament to decide the new champion. Savage beat Butch Reed, Greg Valentine and One Man Gang to reach the final. He faced off against...
series of amazing competitors there, ladies and gentlemen.
He faced off against the $1 Million Man, who received a bye in the semi-final as Hogan and Andre ended in a double DQ. And so, we play. You know, I've never actually watched WrestleMania 4, but I can't imagine it's that great. I've seen
see,
this.
if you watch them all in a row, they're alright. It's like the old Survivor Series and things like that.
Yeah.
If you watch them all in a row, it's fine. But see, if you try to just watch it individually, it's like nah, it's bad matches and then the good match and then bad matches. Because these cards used to be stacked.
Yeah.
There used to be 15 matches you'd have to sit through.
I definitely want Andre with me and not Miss Elizabeth.
You'd rarely get a match that went like half an hour.
Exactly. For every match like this, there was of course King Kong Bundy versus dwarfs.
There's not enough monster heels beating up on dwarfs anymore.
You say that. Hornswoggle got the shit kicked at him.
Oh, that's true.
The other thing about the old WrestleManias is, like, they used to be, oh, here's Donald Trump, here's Elvira. It was, like, insert 80s celebrity here. There's one with Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, he was like...
with his full 80s dye job and he's...
Was it him or Alice Cooper who came out with Jake the Snake?
I think it was Alice Cooper.
I thought it was.
And his opponent, accompanied by Miss Elizabeth, Randy Macho Man Savage.
Macho Man Randy Savage making his way to the ring.
We have officially lost Sam.
I was just about to
DL.
ask.
Or is it the Sam or Sam the Body Ventura?
I just called him good old.
It's good old Sam.
Yeah.
All or nothing. You can feel the tension right now. This is what it has all come down to. Savage and Dibiase for the WWE.
Does that make me Martin the Brain Heenan?
Yes.
I noticed with Paul Heyman, he's really trying for the Bobby the Brain type heel stuff. Like he'll cut 10-minute promos, like shitting on the audience, shitting on the backstage, just trying to make his guy look good.
If anyone can pull it off, and it's Paul Heyman.
And this is going to be a tremendous title match. And there it is.
And he's the only real like manager or valet they've got.
We've got Zeb.
They've got Zeb, but what's Zeb doing?
Jack Swagger.
Cause see, that's an uphill battle right there.
Savage has competed.
And you can tell, look, as good as Paul is, he cannot help Curtis Axel, he could not help Ryback.
To be fair, I think by the time Heyman was bundled with Ryback, it was already too late for him. It was a shame, I really liked Ryback, but...
Well, the big mistake with Ryback was the first time he faced Punk. That was, like, just no.
Yeah.
Like, he's a guy that squashes guys, aye. Give him a mid-card belt. Don't put him in a main event, because they can't wrestle fucking 20 minutes. It's like with Goldberg in WCW. Goldberg trained specifically in order to pull off his moves extremely well.
Yeah.
He knew he had to lift the giant up above his head and walk around with him, so he trained specifically so he could do that. But Goldberg never trained for like fucking submission maneuvers and shit. That's why his matches with like Brett and things like that are just really awkward. Or there's a great match and it's Goldberg versus Regal.
Right.
And so, I guess somebody backstage, it might have been Kevin Sullivan or whoever, was like, I just go out there and put on a good match, Regal. Like, have a good one. And so Regal goes out and he thinks he's gonna have a real match. So he starts doing like Roman Greco style shit. And Goldberg's like, what? And I guess like somebody for the side of the ring shouts at Regal, "Stop making him look bad!"
Dibiase, center with the top to the floor below. Macho Man to the top, and Andre has stepped in to protect.
Poor Regal.
Andre is asking Savage to jump.
Oh, the Macho Man.
Did you ever read his book?
I can't believe it.
No, I'd like to, but I've
It's-
not read it yet.
It's pretty decent.
Hulk Hogan.
It's fairly outdated now, but it's still pretty good. He talks a lot about his like addictions and stuff.
Aye.
And here we go. Back into the ring.
I read Eric Bischoff's book,
Is that any good?
Controversy Creates Cash. He neglects to talk about his addictions. It's an alright book. It works like, see if you read it with the death of WCW
Yeah.
or any of they kind of books, both at the same time, it works quite well. It's
Right.
not so great on his end because he puts himself over.
3 matches earlier tonight, and he is
That's kind of to be expected, to be fair.
WWE Championship gold is in his sights.
Macho Man has laser.
I've read Flair's book, and Flair sometimes admits when he fucks up. Although sometimes, like with the Mick Foley thing, he's like, no, I'm right. He's a garbage wrestler. He says tons of shit like that.
That's actually a book I've never read. Is any Mick Foley's?
Oh, Mick Foley's books are really good.
Aye.
Andre swatting Savage.
Because I watched the.
Steps in. Here comes the
They've got like the documentary of his recent DVD on the WWE Network, and I watched that, and I'm like, I'm more interested in reading his books now.
Oh, you should. At the start, don't like pick up the most recent one.
No.
You need to go with the first one.
Look at this. He's just barely moving. I'm not sure he can get back to his feet. Watch it. Oh.
Because it gets to a point where he's sort of like, this is what I've done for the past year. And it's still good because it's still fully writing, but
Aye.
it's, I mean, he's talking about TNA, and you're like, alright, so that time you sat at the side and China came into the ring, and that was great.
see the results. Oh, my God Almighty!
He does stand-up comedy now.
Yep.
A lot of them do.
There's a bit of that in his DVD as well. Well, the documentary anyway.
Painful mistake. Oh, reversed. Oh, not your garden variety impact on that one.
I've never like saw any shows or saw any on YouTube. I imagine he's basically just telling anecdotes.
Yep. That's basically what I've heard, is like anecdotes, but funnier. Must be.
New Jack does it, and New Jack just goes on. He's like, "Oh, you mind that one time I stabbed the guy? I beat the fuck out of him. Gallbleed made me fucking partially deaf and blind, and fucking brain fluid come out my head. So next time I saw him, I broke his neck."
Here's the pin. There's two.
Raven does some, but Raven's like a naturally funny guy.
He's supposed to be very clever as well.
Aye.
WWE Champion, Randy Macho Man Savage.
We have a new champion. It's Bedlam here.
I do believe Savage just won.
You know,
He has indeed.
Ted DiBiase was robbed of
He's now WWF champion.
He's now WW Bleep champion.
Macho Man handing the gold to Elizabeth.
That's the one good thing about the most recent like DVDs. They don't have to bleep it out anymore.
They have worked so hard for this moment.
Aye, but in some of them they still do. Like, even on the network, a lot of the stuff they don't have to bleep it, but some of them they're just older versions of the shows, so things
Yeah.
are still bleeps or censored.
New WWE champion.
They
You gonna
have
follow?
different.
Sorry, what?
Foley?
His music just popped up.
Alright. No, they have different attires for Elizabeth as well, don't they?
I think so. Time to do my piece. Savage's problem with Dibiase did not end at WrestleMania. The Mega Powers would unite to take on their mutual enemies in Dibiase and Andre the Giant in the main event of the very first SummerSlam in August 1988 at Madison Square Garden. There we go.
You're on the stream right now, you're dangerously teasing a future match there.
Which one?
The Nature Boy.
Oh. What are you talking about? They never shut up. Spoilers.
No, of course, because he was just the NWA champion at the time.
Yep. He was rolling around with Dr. Dre and all that.
Yeah, that's how they got straight out of Compton. They got into Flair's limo and went to Space Mountain.
And Michael, I've seen a lot of tag matches over my life, and this match has the makings of a great one.
Dibiase's attire is very fitting.
Oh, what an offensive move! Don't expect a lot of mercy to be shown here. Oh, talk about getting flattened. A big fist to the gut.
I'm actually not a big fan of tag team matches in these games.
No, in the games they always seem to go the exact same way. Like, no matter how damaged the opponent is, his partner will always run in and try and break up the pin.
Yep.
Fly out. Oh, tremendous right hand to the temple.
I'd be searching in my tights for a white flag I could wave.
But I believe you can hit the select button as you're pinning the guy, and then you can control your partner.
Ah, yeah. Never knew that.
The elbow connects. Did you hear how his leg connected?
I sort of feel like this is missing somebody.
And there's the reversal. What a match. Momentum
It seems that even WWE forgot about Virgil.
I may have forgotten about the managers.
and he finally gets out of the ring.
It's alright, there's nobody here crying for Virgil.
There is, if you look at the crowd. As soon as you mention Virgil, the sign just says, "Where's Virgil?" No, that's not. I didn't ask for that.
That's ridiculous that somebody put up that sign.
What a SummerSlam this is. Every single match is off the charts.
You should download the Cornet face sign.
That's getting dropped to the canvas.
Oh, fuck off, Andre.
Like, you need to tag in the Brawler Man, Brawler.
I try.
Brawler.
I'm trying to.
Now in this awesome match.
There we go.
That was a ton of velocity.
There we go.
And Savage makes the tag.
Hulkamania is currently running wild.
There's just so much at stake
Not anymore.
in this match.
Well, he's gone wild at a casual pace. Hulkamania is leisurely strolling.
I did like how when I was running the Royal Rumble earlier, like they've made it so that Kevin Nash takes about a solid minute to get to the ring.
Because he'd tear his quads if he ran.
WWE fans in attendance, each and every one of them are having a great time tonight. And the flow of this match has changed once again.
Who picked out Hulk's outfit for this?
I just did random.
No, but I mean like when he actually wore it.
Oh.
Why did he think bright red trousers was a good idea?
And the neck breaker connects. Oh, this is dangerous right here. Heads up! And that was a costly misstep.
Yes, tagging Dibiase.
The SummerSlam is the Divas. Every year we get to see Divas.
Like, there was a time before he turned heel in WCW where he wore black.
Was that not when the Dungeon of Doom shaved off his mustache?
Well, really he shaved off the moustache for the Three Ninjas movie.
Yeah.
But and he looked really weird.
Yep.
What great action we've had in this match.
But I just like the thought of like they shaved his mustache and that's what turned him dark and brooding.
And they used to have these promos where it'd be like Hulk sitting in Venice Beach, just chilling. And it's like, oh, what's the point of this? It's to show you that Hulk Hogan still exists, basically. Because he wasn't wrestling, but they had to keep showing him to the fans in order to keep selling merch, I suppose. But even then, people were booing Hogan.
Andre just kicked out the leg drop. Aye, but I remember watching like a lot of the old like Nitros and being quite like before he turned heel. I've been quite surprised at how his reactions basically.
Well, he was just trying to do the same thing he'd done for 8 years or 10 years in WWF. So people were like, oh yeah, so we get to have like Hogan versus Sting or Flair or whoever was big at the time. But then, like, people get bored really easy. There was a point where Bill Apter handed out the end of year awards for his magazine, and because, like, I don't want to say they'd been paid off, but what I will say is that the Nasty Boys won Tag Team of the Year. So you can judge that one for yourself. And it was all, like, they were pushing these guys that you'd seen for fucking 10 years already doing the same things. If it had been Sting that made the turn, instead of Hogan, the company would have probably went bankrupt. Because it would have been Super Hogan just running wild again.
Hogan was the perfect choice. Because he was a really good heel. In my opinion.
And that time at the very start of the NWO, their video packages looked fucking amazing as well. So Hogan would be standing flexing his muscles, but then the camera angle would just flash to another angle, and like Nash and Holler, they're like, nah.